Hello and welcome. This video is going to be a what sold video from me for the various platforms that I sell on for the week of July, we're in July now, 15th to July 21st. And as per usual, we're going to start with the lowest performing platform first and then work our way up. So I'm going to scoot over here. We'll start with Etsy. I did make a sale on Etsy, and as per last time I shared a what sold video, this is one of the oldest items that was in my store. I actually, after the sale, decided to remove it everywhere else and just set it and forget it on Etsy because this is the only place that it's sold. This is something I picked up because when I first started reselling consistently in 2019, I was watching a lot of the Crazy Lamp Lady, Jocelyn. She's an amazing reseller. She also has an amazing client base. And I realized within the first 6 months that the things that she was picking up and able to sell did not lend itself to other people. So I made some mistakes, and that's how come I always just like to let you guys know, like, these are things that I am selling, but there are a lot of things, you know, like ties and mugs that a lot of other resellers don't like reselling. It is something that I enjoy reselling, and it is something that does sell for me, but it is not a universal thing. So I'm just sharing with you guys what I sell. You do you. But this pair of bicentennial glasses sold for a total of $12, and then all this extra money, the $22.39, that is the shipping charge and the taxes that Etsy charges, but the actual sold price is $12. I paid $2 for those glasses, and it took 3 years to sell. So will I pick these up again? For once, absolutely not. I'm gonna take Miss Moxie here because of course she's down here, as she always is. And we're gonna scoot over here so I can switch over to share with you what sold. We'll do Facebook Marketplace. That's the next one. For Facebook Marketplace, I sold this Under Armour Baller tank. I picked this up at a thrift store for $2.50. It sold for $10 on Facebook. On Facebook, the buyer pays for shipping, so also has like what, a 5 or 6.5% fee or something. I'm not sure. It's real cheap, so very happy that this sold shortly after I cross-posted this. So y'all know I love selling vintage. I saw this blue, very Golden Girls top. As you can see here, I modeled it, and I do, again, feel like that helps for vintage. And it sold for my full asking price of $15 on Facebook Marketplace, and like I said, the buyer pays for shipping. This is from the 80s. It was very Golden Girls vibes. Like, I could totally see Blanche wearing this, but I thought this was a really cool shirt. I know that it would take the right buyer, and for most vintage, I'm very willing to wait for the right buyer for this because I love vintage clothing. Now Miss Moxie's gonna move over here. We're gonna sell Poshmark. Again, Poshmark has decided to show up for me in a great way. So this top I actually have sold 4 times. 4 times. So when I say, so this is the 4th time I sold it that actually stuck because it was on Poshmark. The other 3 times this top sold was on eBay, where the buyer just, they didn't pay for it. The second time was they asked to cancel it later because they said it was a mistake. And then the third time was they looked at the third time was like, it was me when I relisted it. I was in the middle of listing other stuff and I messed up the title, but it has measurements in it. It was a messy. So I finally was just like, whatever, I'm cross-posting this and it's gonna go. And I was right. So I cross-posted it. It literally sold within 48 hours of cross-posting it on Poshmark for $20. This was an offer. It's gone. And they gave me a 5-star rating. So for $20 this move, this is something I picked up at an estate sale for $1. So even with that 20% Poshmark fee, very happy about that. And this was a gamble. I do actually know quite a bit about Japanese fashion and Japanese brands. I do find them sometimes in my area because we have a high military population in my area. There's the Langley Air Force Base. There is several Army bases. I live near Fort Eustis. So there is a lot of military in my area. And then Korea has a big base. I think there's one in Okinawa, and then there's one also in Japan. And so they like to bring back wives, just like my grandfather did when he went to Japan. So I do know a lot about Japanese brands and a lot about Japanese culture, and I saw this and I knew that Bayflow is a 30s to 40s. It's like catered towards middle-aged women, a comfort, like casual brand, and it can be quite expensive. So I posted this on eBay, I got no bites, so then I just cross-posted it everywhere for 25, and someone on Poshmark bought it for 20. And this is like a terry cloth. It was kind of like if you made a pocket t-shirt out of a towel, but like a soft towel. And like the towel part was only outside and not inside. It was weird to explain it. Like it fit me and it was very comfortable, but also like super warm. So I decided to let it move on, and it sold for $20 on Poshmark, which I was very happy and surprised about. So someone on Poshmark also knows their Japanese brands, or maybe they were just happy to find a brand that they liked from home here. So that's also why I pick up brands like that too, because, you know, America is supposed to be a melting pot. So there are people from all over, and, you know, like just like we have brands that we love here in the United States, other countries have brands that they love as well. So this is eBay, and I sold this pair of Express Mia Ultra Skinny blue jeans. These are 2832s. These were mine. 2832s, they are low rise, you know, back when low rise was the fashion in the aughts. This was a pair of jeans that I wore. That's the 32-inch inseam. My giant butt no longer fits in these, and I'm no longer interested in wearing low-rise anything anymore. So this sold for $9.50, and the buyer paid for shipping, considering I got like, what, 5 years of use out of these. Totally cool with them moving on to a new home. This is a pair of Ving & Brine's Seersucker Color Block Patchwork Shorts. Look, I can read. Aren't you proud of me? And it sold for $19 on offer, and the buyer paid $5 for shipping. I got so many lowball offers on this pair of shorts. The number of $10, $5 offers I got on this pair of shorts. You can always tell when something is very much desired by teens and the low 20s when you get just an inordinate amount of lowball offers, because you know it's someone who doesn't have a whole lot of money, which, fair, I understand, is trying to buy something from you. So I just held out, and when I got a semi-reasonable offer, I was like, okay, cool, I'm tired of receiving these lowball offers. Get it out. It's good. Awesome. So happy those went. I paid like $4.50 for them at a thrift store. This is Yves Saint Laurent. You would think something that is designer would sell for more, but it's Thai. And I paid $2 for this, and it sold for $6. And the buyer paid $4.50. This was from the 70s. If you want to know how I know that this is from the 70s, it's because of the logo. And one of the resources, which I will link down below, that I like to use for vintage label oils is the Vintage Label Guild, Vintage Label Resource Guild. I'll link that down below. I've mentioned it before, but it is one of my favorite resources, and it is very helpful. It is not exhaustive, as in there are a lot of brands that I have to do more research for, but it does help. This next giant bundle, I have to thank Drinking Buddy for. I'm not going to use your real name, but I know what it is, so I see you. A Drinking Buddy, I'm guessing, saw my video where I was talking about my sales and decided that he needed to help me, which is I'm deeply grateful for, and bought a bunch of stuff for his mom, which apparently she loved the shirts. That is this bundle, which is the extra small stuff. It's the B. Moss Taylor. This is actually something, the turtleneck was something that I used to wear, I think in college. I think it was for college I wore that top, so it's technically vintage because I'm vintage, but yeah, I was very happy about that. So I'm glad your mom loves it. And then the Free People was something I picked up at a thrift store. He also bought this Mid-Century Modern tray, and as well as these two books, the Garfield book and the TI-83 book as well. The books were for nostalgia reasons. I'm guessing the tray is for utilities. Although Drinking Buddy, it would be a good and very fancy dice roll tray. Just saying. But thank you very much. I did refund him the difference for all of the shipping. I just packed him a big 12 by 12 priority box and sent it on its way. And it does mean a lot that you bought from me and you continue to buy from me and you continue to support me. And I'm really glad your mom liked the shirts. So this next item, I paid, I think $6 for it at New to You a long time ago. It was new with tags, so I thought that this was going to sell because again, this was early on. Because I thought, oh, it's got a $90 price tag. I definitely can get like $40 for this because it's new with tags. Again, we all have our learning curves. I have relisted this 5 times. The 4th time I decided to take new pictures for it because the original pictures I had for this were terrible. Also, Miss Moxie is still down here. It sold on offer for $20. When I got this offer, I was like, thank you. Please take it. I love this color though, and I love this skirt. I don't know why it took so long to sell, but it was beautiful. It was like this beautiful violet color. It's like, I don't think I have anything anymore in my closet that's this beautiful violet color. Like, this is as close as I can get. It's not quite it. This is more muted. But it's like my favorite purple color, my favorite shade of purple. And it was brand new with tags. It had like a lining with this beautiful like lace over top. It was a beautiful skirt. Don't know why it took so long to sell. Glad it did finally. So thank you whoever bought that. This is from, I think this is from a thrift store. This is a size 12 Alfred Dunner. Alfred Dunner is very style driven for me if I pick it up or not. Alfred Dunner is still something that is made and sold, I think, at JCPenney's or Dillard's or someplace like that. It's still a brand that's being made. It's a more mature brand currently, and it's something that I like picking up the vintage pieces when it's based on style. So either like dark academia or cottagecore or grannycore, but it has to like lean hard into grannycore for that. And this sold for $15.90 and the buyer paid for shipping. These plates are something I posted about on my Instagram account if you're not following me there. I do try to make sure I upload something interesting on my stories daily. So if you want to follow me there, it's going to be listed up here. But I saw these, I went through the estate sale and I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed with this estate sale. There's like rooms full of stuff. These plates were the only thing worth resell for me. And they also had the original stickers on them. These were the Nocturne crate and barrel plates. They look like oil slick. Oil slick was really popular in like 2009, 2010, not just in like housewares, but also like people were doing oil slick hair, people were doing oil slick style clothes, oil slick nails. It was like a trend during that time period. And these looked like they hadn't been used. So I picked up all 4 of these for $5 and somebody bought them for $34 and paid $18. So I made like $25 off of this sale and I'm very happy about that. This is something that I paid $2 for at an estate sale. It is a set of wooden trivets. Pretty much any trivet I find that is cute or boho, I pick them up at an estate sale because they will sell. They are normally very lightweight, very cheap at the estate sale, and I can normally get between, you know, depending on the style, like $10 to $15 for them. This is a very cute pair of trivets, and they sold for $14.87, and the buyer paid for shipping. This is something I picked up at an estate sale for $1. This is the Team Monte Carlo. This is from 2001. It did have a little Tasmanian devil on it, but it was like muted. And this is an all white long sleeve shirt that had no stains. So I'm always excited when I find that. But it sold for $10 and the buyer paid for shipping. Again, I paid $1 for this. So this is a Brooks Brothers 346 silk tie. Brooks Brothers 100% silk ties that are handmade of Italian silk in the United States are the ones that I look out for. It doesn't matter if it's 346 or just regular Brooks Brothers. If it doesn't say Italian silk, but it does say handmade in the USA, I will still pick it up because it's normally then made of Italian silk. But it sold for $8 and the buyer paid $4 for shipping. For ties, I stick to $2 or less for cost of goods, unless it is a Brewer tie, a Rush Limbaugh tie, or then like something else interesting, then I will pay more than $2 for it, but there are very few ties that I will pay more than $2. This next item, I think this is something I picked up at the bins. I'm pretty sure I picked this up at the bins. And, oh, no, I did pick this up at the bins, and this 100% silk, so it weighed less than a pound, so I paid like $1 for this. It had the Victoria's Secret gold label on it, and so that means that it's vintage. So this is $23.90, so this was sold on an offer, and the buyer paid for shipping. It was beautiful. Anytime I find anything at the bins that doesn't have any stains, so all I have to do is like do a quick wash and then I'm done with it, I'm so happy about that. This is pearl snap, so we got ties and pearl snaps. I'm not sure if I sold any mugs in this one. Did not sell any mugs this time. I did sell glassware though, so I think that counts. So we got a pearl snap, so we got this Eli Cattleman. This is from a recent pickup, and it sold for $15.50, and the buyer paid for shipping. I rarely sell kids clothes, but I do know certain kids clothes are worth picking up, especially if I'm buying them at the bins where I'm paying like $1 for them. This is a pair of kids Oshkosh Bagosh overalls. Anytime I find Oshkosh Bagosh overalls, I pick them up. Anytime I find any overalls, actually, I almost always pick them up because I'm looking for a pair of overalls for myself because I think they are the most comfortable piece of clothing you can wear. So it sold for $10 and the buyer paid $5 for shipping. It sold within like a week of me listing it. So yes, kids overalls. Oshkosh Bagosh, good brand. This is another item that I've sold multiple times and the people just didn't pay for it. But someone finally paid for it. It sold for $7 and the buyer paid $4 for shipping. This is something that came in one of my ThredUp t-shirt boxes. And so I paid like $1.50 for it. Perfectly cool with that. And the last item I have to share with you is something that came from my own personal closet. I am a Twitch partner. I do mention that occasionally. It just means that I have the verified check mark on Twitch, and I have slightly more claim, but not really. So sometimes I get perks, like if I go to TwitchCon, they give you like a free item, and this was one of the free items that I could pick from the Amazon store because Amazon owns Twitch. And so yeah, so this cost me nothing, and someone paid me $7 for it when I decided to move it on to a new home. And they paid for shipping, so 100% profit for me. And then something that I don't really wear because I have plenty of other Twitch stuff. I have so much Twitch stuff. Twitch. Where's my green? This is also Twitch. I have a lot of stuff. You get a lot of clothing from Twitch if you've been on here for a long time. I've been streaming on Twitch for over 7 years now. I've been partnered for 3, so excited. I really hope TwitchCon happens this year. I miss it. I've missed it the last 2 years. But thank you guys so much for watching. This is just what's selling for me. As I mentioned earlier in the video, this is just an idea of what I pick up and like to sell and what is currently selling for me. The sales have definitely picked up since I have been focusing very hard on listing and cross-posting again, just like I was doing in May. I'm definitely putting in more hours into my business and not just here on YouTube. But things are picking back up. I'm hoping that I'm going to finish Q3 very strong. I know this is the first month of Q3, but I'm looking forward to a very profitable second half of the year. I hope your business is going well. If you do reselling, if you just like being a voyeur, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in a couple days for another haul video. Until then, bye! Bye.